the culture, that bravado, 1 ounce type thing. You know, there's ways to hone that and use it for the greater good, which is this, I feel. And for me, it's about the feeling. That's what I care about, the feeling I give people when I fight.
This is a fantastic young fighter with confidence to match.
Israel Adesanya.
He is one of the highest level kickboxers you're ever going to see.
He has been the boss. He has been the bully. He has led the dance.
He almost fights like he's in a karate movie sometimes.
People talk about the never-ending debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
And the last style bender's starting to go to work.
Those who were around when Jordan was playing, they're like, yeah, this is nice, but you don't remember the feeling of watching him do what he did.
Oh, he tagged him again.
Oh, big left and right. Now the uppercut in the knee. Brunson is down.
So I want to give people a certain feeling when I fight.
Wow.
Whether they love me or hate me.
That's the last style bender, folks.
Because I come in there showing off, dancing.
That kid's the truth. And Adesanya touched over with the right hand.
I mean, he's just so effortless and fluid.
I want them to remember that feeling.
Oh, that's the thing about his arsenal. It's so deep. He can do so many things. His striking IQ is off the charts.
The last style bender polarized the message.
Oh, my goodness.
Huge right. Knockdown for Adesanya now.
En route to claiming the UFC interim middleweight title.
Well, it is the biggest fight in the history of Australia and New Zealand. The undisputed middleweight championship is at stake. It'll be Adesanya and Whittaker later in 2019.
The championship fight that immediately followed.
56,000 plus will pack the house Sunday at UFC 243.
Would evoke anticipation.
Thank you, mate.
From both Aussies.
Thank you.
You guys.
In this atmosphere, in this arena, with these numbers, I can see it being the biggest fight ever.
And Kiwis alike.
Robert, he does not want to let everyone down.
Looking good, man.
He's in his home country. He doesn't want to let everyone down.
I had a better idea. I had a bigger incentive.
I'll find the shot and I'll put him away.
Learn to embrace the talents I'm blessed with.
And the UFC middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya. We're going to blow that place up. Y'all ready?
I know the secret to making a dream come true, no apology. Stand tall like a prodigy. Sincere honesty. Channel my vision, aim for the moon and reach for the prophecy.
We have seen him develop exponentially from one fight to the next. He is 17-0, and he is a sponge for MMA knowledge. We'll see how much he is soaked up in advance of this unification bout as Israel Adesanya takes on Robert Whittaker.
You know, guys that have fought at the top of the sport love Robert Whittaker. He is a fighter's champion. Every time he goes in there, he lays it on the line. This guy is a great champion and one of the best fighters that I've ever seen in the octagon. Whittaker has to make this fight a little bit dirty. If it's just a straight kickboxing match, there aren't many people in the world that can beat Israel at that.
Beautiful jab from the last style bender. Head movement for Israel Adesanya. Beautiful to watch.
That night was just perfect.
It is amazing how beloved Robert Whittaker is in this nation as he tries to find his way into striking range.
Going into enemy territory, staking my claim.
He's got Rob chasing him.
Oh, big knockdown!
Big shot by Izzy right before the bell.
Owning the moment, just expressing beautiful, violent art.
Oh, hurt him again with that hook.
Oh, beautiful body work now from Adesanya.
He's starting to feel himself now. He's starting to get to his flow. But it's not good for Robert Whittaker.
Oh! Israel Adesanya is the undisputed king of the middleweights.
Everyone that was supporting me could walk out of there with their head held high. Like, yeah, our guy won.
Less than 2 years into his UFC career, Israel Adesanya is what he knew and thought he was, the best middleweight on planet Earth.
That feeling's gonna sit with him forever.
And perhaps these two gentlemen are destined to fight again, but goes to the last style bender, Israel Adesanya.
10 years ago, Coach James Lurson gave Brian Ortega a choice for his left or fight for gold and his community in the octagon. UFC featherweight, Ortega uses the fighting spirit to inspire others like him to fight for something better. Since 1925, where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, the official beer of UFC.
One more set. One more round. One more wheel. Body Armor, official sports drink of the UFC.
It's time!
Justin Gaethje. Live inside Marvel Stadium here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. This is UFC 243, Whittaker versus Adesanya. Seems to be a feeling here that these guys might fight more than once, but Act 1 between Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya is finally upon us.
UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya's win over Robert Whittaker in 2019.
Oh! Israel Adesanya is the undisputed king of the middleweights!
Solidified his place atop the sport.
I'm Hollywood now. I'm Hollywood.
And while the last stylebender enjoyed newfound superstar, he would seek the challengers most likely to take it all away.
This guy right here is a guy that no one ever calls out. I want to test myself against everyone of this era who's a beast.
Yoel Romero!
That is an aggressive, powerful man.
Scariest dude on this UFC roster.
I just pick and choose pretty much. I've always kind of done that low key. And I don't pick easy fights. I pick the toughest guy in the division at the time, and I go after them.
After dominating Yoel Romero,
I do what I have to do in a fight. I touched him up, and still.
Brazil's got a middleweight contender, Paulo Costa.
Living la vida Costa. I'll see you soon, boy.
and Paulo Costa.
This is not looking good for Paulo Costa. He's getting picked apart here. Oh! Knockdown for Adesanya! Wow. That is it!
Adesanya had cleared out the middleweight landscape.
He has left Anderson Silva, Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker, Yoel Romero, and now Paulo Costa in his wake.
So extending an undefeated streak at 185 pounds meant facing the division's elite for a second time.
Fastest man in the world, baby!
There's a warm-up. This is it.
It's not hard to get motivated for me.
Israel Adesanya, man. What's there to say? The guy is legit as you can get.
I love what I do.
He's one of the best that steps foot in the octagon, and he always wants to take on the biggest challenges.
I love this game. I love where I'm at in my career. But to lap the division,
he is putting himself in some pretty elite company with what he is doing.
I find that exciting.
So here he is, folks. Israel Adesanya is still undefeated as a middleweight, and he intends to keep it that way tonight in what is the first rematch of his career. On the other side, it's Marvin Vettori, the latter, trying to become the first Italian UFC champion.
Live fast, live loud.
I have a healthy ego.
The last style bender, in search of a third successful middleweight title defense.
I like to use it to my advantage like a fire. Use it to make life.
What we're seeing here is that Izzy evolved considerably since their first fight. And he's also so much more comfortable. I mean, he's the champ now. Oh, that one hurt him. That one hurt him.
Break the move, turn the volume up. Get in tune, P's and Q's if you're down with us. Shake the room, let the sound drop. Make it boom till they feel it in the atmosphere.
But then if I fan it the wrong way, it can burn my whole down. So
all the stuff that Izzy's been doing is starting to pile on, and Marvin is fatiguing.
That can go two ways. But right now, the way it's going, it's in my favor.
This fight was all Israel Adesanya.
It shows true dominance.
Israel Adesanya once again dominated Marvin Vettori.
Who wants to get this next ass kicking? Because he's cleared out his division.
He lapped the division at the top and then did it again.
And the path to UFC middleweight golden glory still goes through Auckland, New Zealand.
That motivates me. So if my next 3 fights are rematches, it doesn't bother me.
we have seen him develop exponentially from one fight to the next. Now, his mixed martial arts moment. He has taken this sport by storm. He moves every needle, celebrity and otherwise, that you would want him to move. He figures to be facing his stiffest challenge to date.
Adesanya's next fight will indeed be another rematch with the man he took the belt from 2 years ago. And the thrill of his victory was matched by the agony of Robert Whittaker's defeat.
The overwhelming memory that I have for that first Adesanya fight is just that I wanted to rip his head off.
The best middleweight in the world, looking to pick up precisely where he left off tonight.
It was very emotional.
Adesanya has forced some misses out of Whittaker here early on.
The pressure, the hype, the build-up, the fans, the place.
Throwing big old looping punches, not being as straight as he normally is.
It all kind of got to me.
He's got to be very careful.
Oh!
No! Help me! Help me! Ah! Oh no! Oh no!
I took a step away from the game, not really with the intention of coming back. It's kind of just freeing myself from all that.
Help me, Jack!
And family was kind of how I knew that I still wanted to be in there. I still wanted to fight. This is how I wanted to make a living still. They're my driving force behind stuff. They put things in perspective and make you want to achieve something not for yourself, but for them.
Before he faced Adesanya, Whittaker had never lost a fight at 185 pounds. And self-reflection following the unfamiliar experience also highlighted Whittaker's need to constantly evolve.
Position.
That loss easy was good in a way because I was having such success with my striking and I was winning fights via striking that I didn't need to fix it.
Nice one.
So I made a lot of changes with my training and the way I do things. Implemented more complete skill sets of what I already had. Mixing in wrestling, mixing in my striking with a better defensive game. And you could just see a massive improvement.
Oh! He dropped it. Here he is, rejuvenated, revitalised, and on a quest to get his title back. Whittaker really did relight that fire.
This one's for him to get back in there, to hunt that title again.
Following his first defeat in a half-decade, Whittaker came roaring back.
Robert Whittaker has dominated.
Ooh! Cannonier in a world of trouble, he retreats!
Showing any oncoming contenders that he remains a cut above the rest.
I thought Cannonier was going to be a much tougher challenge for him. He looked good tonight.
He looks sensational. And I wonder what the champ is thinking right now.
I'm at a loss for words for Whittaker's performance. What a masterclass.
We're going to see a rematch of Whittaker versus Adesanya.
Any type of confusion in the middleweight division, it's done. This is the man that gets the next title shot.
Nobody's jumping over Whittaker. He's next.
This is the first ever UFC comedy jam where we're gonna have professional fighters tell jokes.
I felt like a giant when I won the Olympics. I was walking around like I was 5 foot tall.
Like Derrick Lewis said, my balls is hot.
Woo! Can Henry get a booster seat, please? Only world champion in history that can't ride a roller coaster.
I don't know what's more impressive, Bisping fighting with one eye or Ben Askren fighting with no hands. Thank you guys so much for coming.
UFC and the American Gaming Association want to remind you to always bet responsibly. Have a game plan, know the odds, and play with trusted operators. Learn more at haveagameplan.org.
A mixed martial artist in peak condition, I think, is the best athlete on the planet. The discipline and the practices that we put into effect when we're training for a fight, they cross over to everyday lifestyle, everyday fitness. Just because you come to UFC gym doesn't mean you're preparing to fight. In fact, not a lot of people do. If you want to do that, if you want to choose that and that becomes a passion for you, then great. This is a great place to do that. But if you just want to come, work out, get in great shape, and improve your confidence, your fitness, your flexibility, whatever it is, you can do it all under this roof here at UFC Gym.
Stadium in Melbourne, Australia.
The rematch between middleweight king Israel Adesanya and former champion Robert Whittaker is official. And while the most highly anticipated fight in Oceania's history will take place in Houston, Texas, the stories of UFC 271's headliners highlight the great nations they represent. From the Australian outback to the islands of New Zealand, these destinations are hailed as some of the most beautiful places on the planet.
We are in Dunedin, South Island of New Zealand. I don't visit the South Island as often as I'd like to. It's a chill pace compared to the hustle and bustle of Auckland, and then the scenery as well. After this fight, I'm definitely going to explore the South Island a little bit more.
On this day, the harbor city of Dunedin plays host to up-and-coming Kiwis, and the national hero always takes time to support the next generation.
Dear Lord, thank you for giving us this wonderful opportunity for the team to show off their talent tonight, Lord. We just ask that you protect all the fighters and protect all the boys tonight. We ask that you give them strength. We ask that you give the corner wisdom. Everything that we do tonight is in your name, Lord. Thank you. Amen. Amen. Cool. Yeah, baby. We're off.
You need events like this to cultivate the youth. So it's important to show up for them as well, because this is their biggest fight of their life.
Nice, Jason. Do that again.
I just want to show those guys that they matter.
You adapted in that third round and you showed heart. Nah, good. Be proud. Be proud. Go say thanks to the corner.
It means a lot when guys like myself take time out to go support them and help them out.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, bring it out. Bring it out. That was beautiful. To come off. Let's go. Oh, let's go.
They're always here to help us get ready for world title fights. So same thing, when we come here, we help them for their fights.
Do what you do. That's it. Good counter. Feints. More feints. Bring it back. Oh! My God.
Not much to tell you, brother. Thank you. That was a much better round on your feet.
Yes, sir. Focus. Be sharp. Oh! That's it, Adam. Let's go, Adam.
What an awesome night for our team. We came in and we conquered.
You are amazing. You are amazing. I love you. You're man.
I'm even getting chills thinking about it. I'm inspired.
That was beautiful. That right there, masterclass. Let's go. We're the best. That's it. Say less.
The pride of a nation runs just as deep in New Zealand as it does across the ditch, where Adesanya's next opponent is also supporting local athletes.
Let's go, light. How many light? 30 seconds light. We're gonna do 5 minutes of it.
For Robert Whittaker, that means welcoming the National Rugby League's Penrith Panthers to his home gym.
30 seconds, we're gonna fight. Hard for double unders, put it down.
Where the NRL's premiership winners continue a wrestling regimen that has bolstered their performances on the turf.
The Penrith Panthers in good attacking position here.
Impact of wrestling in NRL is massive.
Now for Luai, back, Burton's into a hole, and he's into the in-goal area for a try.
It affects slowing the play of the ball down, completing tackles.
The challenges are there, thick and fast. The Panthers celebrate the premiers of 21.
Every team has a wrestling coach. Ours is just the best.
We're always looking to improve. Just kind of exposing our team and our guys to something a little bit different and fresh. You get some strength out of it, some conditioning, which is very relevant to our sport.
To be involved with such an elite level team of like-minded individuals makes a big difference in the gym.
The Panthers train alongside the Reaper as he prepares to represent Australia in the February 12th rematch with New Zealand's Israel Adesanya.
Now that it's almost time to fight, we could put this whole Australia versus New Zealand thing to bed.
It was never a country versus country. It was me versus Izzy.
But the storied rivalry between nations won't distract Whittaker from the task at hand.
The Australian-New Zealand rivalry, that was one of the things that got in my head the first fight, honestly. They made such a big thing out of it.
And we've got two guys from this side of the world. The rivalry between Aussies and Kiwis, it's not going to end here. I'll guarantee you that.
You live in Australia and you got Kiwi heritage. Yeah. You guys in New Zealand, he's got Nigerian heritage. How's all that kind of fit into everything?
56,000 plus will pack the house Sunday at UFC 243.
Robert, he does not want to let everyone down. He's in his home country. He doesn't want to let everyone down.
Nice. Now I don't care. Personally, I just want to try and get that back.
Beautiful.
All I know is that I'm very confident going into this next fight that I'm going in there as the best me.
Right hand.
Going in there with my head the way I need it to be, that I want it to be. I'm going in there with my skill set and my confidence in my skill set. I'm going to give my best go at this, and that will satisfy me.
And again. Good trainer, Rob. Nice work.
It's time! Freaking UFC welterweight history, Kamaru Usman. Justin Gaethje. Tuivasa. Get him a shoe, get him a beer. Houston fans, come out to meet UFC featherweight Calvin Kattar tonight at Hooters Kirby from 6 to 7:30. Presented to you by Halibut.
UFC International Fight Week returns to Las Vegas with an epic fan experience like no other. June 27th through July 3rd, enjoy unlimited access to exclusive events all week long. And Saturday, July 2nd, the UFC cap off the week with UFC 276, live from T-Mobile Arena. Don't miss UFC International Fight Week 2022. June 27th through July 3rd in Las Vegas.
Former champion Robert Whittaker is 12-1 in his last 13 fights. But that sole blemish in the 2019 title bout with Israel Adesanya is one he now has the opportunity to get back. In preparing for the February 12th rematch, Whittaker is focusing on the sweet science with the legend of the craft. Six-time world champion coach and boxing Hall of Famer, Johnny Lewis.
And we could have a real cracker. Long-time trainer Johnny Lewis there with him. He's worked all his life for this moment. And there's the left uppercut, which was a peach. Combinations, and there's the left hand. It's over! The fight finishes dramatically.
Let's go. Suddenly.
Johnny Lewis knows what he's doing. You know, he's got a good head for the sport, and he's got a big personality and presence in the gym.
Go in with it and then hook short.
Nice.
When he's watching you or when he's edging you on to work harder, work faster, you want to do that for him.
Right, that's right. Then go the left first and then do the left rip.
Follow it with the right.
In with the rip and shorten it up. Nice and swift.
He just has that veteran mind, that experience behind the wheel that you just absolutely believe in.
Boxing may be where Adesanya bested Whittaker.
Oh, but he calls in there.
But Whittaker's 3 consecutive wins that follow
Defensive movement from Whittaker and a big right hand.
showcase the Reaper's newly refined striking skills.
1, 2, 3. Look at that. I mean, come on. All Whittaker's weapons complement the next strike that he's going to throw.
Rob is punching extremely hard and he's not missing the target.
There's a lot of power in these punches. It is an absolute weapon.
If he gets 2 of them in a row, we'll be all going home early.
Here he is, rejuvenated, revitalized, and on a quest to get his title back. There he is. Oh, man.
Trying to be like a better version of myself.
This Whittaker performance might be resonating with the middleweight champion Israel Adesanya.
And then drop the right on him.
I mean, he's gotten better, right?
And I feel like I've ticked a lot of those boxes.
This Robert Whittaker looks so much better than the guy that fought Izzy for the title.
I mean, Robert is just one step ahead in every single transition.
But this next fight will be the biggest box to tick.
That was truly a masterpiece, and I can't wait for the rematch with Adesanya.
Nice, tight.
Team Adesanya is acutely aware that Whittaker's approach to the rematch will be vastly different from the first contest. But drastic alterations to a training camp can have adverse effects.
It's always very interesting to see what the other opponent's going to do to change the outcome. When you lose in the fashion that Robert lost.
A lot of big actions by Robert Whittaker, throwing big old looping punches.
From a coaching perspective, there's so much scope for change. Anytime you get a great trainer like Johnny Lewis, it's going to add to your game. But I will say this. There is 100% a danger when fighters start to get too much input from too many different places.
Adesanya prepares as usual, knowing that even if Whittaker's training camp is crowded,
Jab 3-2.
The former champ's mental fortitude cannot be questioned.
The way he's approached the fight lets me know he's taking the first step in accepting that I was better than him that night.
It's that right hook counter. Every time Robert jumps in there, that right hook counter is landed beautifully.
He's gonna come in with a different game plan, different strategies.
1-2 minus.
And I'm preparing him better than I did the first time.
And that speaks to the evolution of the all-around game of Adesanya.
It's Australia versus New Zealand once again on February 12th. As Whittaker
He's made adjustments to get the title and face Adesanya next. I'm excited.
and Adesanya
One of the most dynamic, layered strikers, and of course a game that has continued to round itself into form.
run it back in the prime of their careers for undisputed middleweight glory.
Me and him are not the same. We're not on the same level. But I've knocked him out twice in one fight.
The way he understands timing and distance is unparalleled.
So I'm going to finish him again.
He makes it look easy no matter what he is doing.
He's the most sophisticated striker in the sport.
But this Robert Whittaker looks so much better than the guy that fought Izzy for the title.
Izzy's going to be a hard fight.
Oh my goodness.
He's the champ for a reason.
He does things that other people just don't do inside the octagon.
You never know where he's going.
I think I have the skill set to beat him.
Look at that. I mean, come on. These in and out actions, these angles. This is what made Robert Whittaker so special.
I'm stacking every chip in my favor.
I mean, he's gotten better. He went away and he actually got better.
We'll see whose night it is when we get there.
This is the fight to make. Let them have this great battle that they had once before.
One more set. One more round. One more whip. Body Armor, a visual sports drink of the UFC.
A mixed martial artist in peak condition, I think, is the best athlete on the planet. The discipline and the practices that we put into effect when we're training for a fight, they cross over to everyday lifestyle, everyday fitness. Just because you come to UFC gym doesn't mean you're preparing to fight. In fact, not a lot of people do. If you want to do that, if you want to choose that and that becomes a passion for you, then great. This is a great place to do that. But if you just want to come, work out, get in great shape, and improve your confidence, your fitness, your flexibility, whatever it is, you can do it all under this roof here at UFC Gym.
UFC 271's co-main event will be a heavyweight showcase between proven knockout artists. For Tai Tuivasa, 12 of his 13 career wins have come by KO. And the proud Australian has taken training camp to the UAE.
All right, let's go, guys. Get the job going.
Coming over here, it's been awesome.
Back to normal.
I've done 4 camps here now.
Pick it up a little bit. Look, go right the way around. Let's go right shoulder.
Mainly it was because of COVID in Australia.
And again, let's go. Get them up. 3, 2, 1. Time. All right, Shadow. Let's go, please. Start your Shadow.
I just thought, I need to get out of here to make sure that I can keep fighting and keep feeding my family.
Time. All right, 2 minutes. Do your stretches, please. Make sure you stretch.
Of the Aussie transplants that make up Tuivasa's camp, childhood friend and head coach Sean Sullivan knows Bam Bam the best.
We're all in this together.
And has guided his career since Tuivasa was an MMA newcomer.
Any questions? Okay, nice and warm. Let's go.
I used to train to basically lose weight. And then when the fight came, that was like his fun part.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. That's what I want to see.
You see as he walks out, he really enjoys it. He embraces the opportunity to perform under those bright lights.
Here is the undefeated Tai Tuivasa.
After just 6 professional wins, Tuivasa found himself competing in the UFC.
Oh, the big shit! That's it! Tai Tuivasa! Western Sydney, baby! He has arrived in the UFC's heavyweight division.
Now I'm here. And I'm here to stay.
Don't let that jiggle fool you. He's an explosive, strong guy.
Bam, bam!
Tuivasa all over him.
Oh, lead elbow. Are you kidding me?
Destruction.
I just want to fight, keep getting paid, baby.
Hates to train, loves to eat, but make no mistake about it, he is a big game player.
Tuivasa with an elbow over the top. Velasquez in trouble.
Can you do the honors and lend me a shoe?
I'm not lending you my shoe. You're going to have to do that with somebody else, bro. He drinks beer out of shoes, folks.
His personality front and center, Tuivasa learned like most that the biggest stage in martial arts requires a different level of dedication.
While you're getting warmed up, I'll tell you what you're doing today. Your strength stuff you're going to do, we'll do the Zercher squats and banded landmine press. And you've got the sledge push at the end. Sean didn't tell me to tell you that, but you got it today, so that's at the end.
Initially, even when he first started in the UFC, I think Tai was just naturally a fighter.
Drive it forward. Good.
He used to love the fight aspect of the sport, but the training aspect he didn't really enjoy at all.
Snap it. Good, Vessa.
When you lose, you learn, and you start to have a real good hard look at yourself. And he realised that he needed to change a few things.
Last one. Up. Get in nice and tight.
Now he's really buying into the training side of things, and he's looking to try and upskill himself in all areas of the game.
Yeah, I'm godly. I'ma die for the grind, ayy.
He's now starting to embrace the martial arts side of MMA.
I can't lie, man, it's time.
His fight IQ is getting, extremely bright. I think that's showing in his performances.
Baby waiting for the sign till they found me.
After a string of defeats, Tuivasa would find the balance of fun and professionalism.
Oh, big shots landed for Tuivasa.
So the knockouts continued.
Tai Tuivasa at the gun! Bam Bam is back in a big way.
And I'm a die.
Tuivasa wobbles and sends him down. It's over. First round knockout. Find him a shoe.
Get him a shoe.
Who has more fun than Tai Tuivasa?
Nobody. For the sign till they found me.
Oh, he goes down. Tuivasa has knocked out Brett Hardy.
Tuivasa's out of his mind.
He is such an animal.
He want to bang with me. I'm not the right guy to bang with. Pick another bloke. This man took losing those fights and applied it to his training.
Tuivasa's all over him. Oh, Sakai, big trouble. Oh, my God. That's it.
Clean KO for Tuivasa.
But in order to extend his 4-fight knockout streak to 5,
They want to shoot him.
Tuivasa will need to take down the KO king at UFC 271.
Knockout power unlike any other heavyweight in the UFC.
When he connects, he puts you out.
Oh, big shots by Derrick. That's it. And the guy has hammers.
Highlight reel knockouts are abundant at heavyweight.
Derrick Lewis, yet another finish.
He's done it time and time again.
But Houston's Derrick Lewis tallied enough to tie the record for most KOs in any division.
There it is. I get it. Full contact. The Black Beast.
He is alone at the top of the mountain. Most UFC knockouts for a heavyweight.
Wow, big run. Lewis does it again. Wow. Do you believe it?
And he had the chance to break that record in his most recent outing.
Derrick Lewis can own the UFC knockout record if he gets it done by that method against Chris Daukaus.
The fight played exactly like my coach wanted.
That's it. Keep control of the cage. There it is, baby.
We wanted to push him against the cage and just blast on him.
Oh, and the left combination. Lewis is punching big now.
Yeah, exactly what we did.
Oh, and Lewis puts him out. There is your knockout king. The most knockouts in UFC history belongs to Derrick Lewis and Derrick Lewis alone.
It's cool to have the most knockouts in UFC history. All these greats that came here before me, and they didn't achieve what I did.
Although he owns the record for most knockouts, Lewis is yet to own a UFC world title.
Thanks, man. Tear it up out there. I know you will.
And had his second shot at a heavyweight belt against former title challenger Cyril Gane not taken place in his hometown, Lewis may very well be the champion today.
How perfect is this situation, right? I mean, you get a chance to fight for the title. It's in Houston. I mean, could you have drawn it up any more perfect than this?
It don't feel real that I'm fighting for the belt here in my hometown.
At this point in your career, does it mean more? I mean, is this a special moment to have a belt?
I don't know. Still really not even thinking about that. My mind is still not really on the title.
When we took the fight, we were so excited, fighting for the interim title here at home. We're going to do this. And as time progressed, especially going into fight week, I definitely saw a side of Derrick that I honestly hadn't seen before.
I don't want to fight in my hometown, especially main event again in my hometown. I thought it would be cool, but nah, it's a lot of pressure.
How's the week been treating you, Derrick?
The week has been crazy. Yeah, it's nerve-wracking, man. It makes me nervous just thinking about it.
He said with all this, the pomp and circumstance, the ovation of the crowd, there comes an added pressure, and he has been feeling it all week.
I was battling my mind more than I was battling Gane.
It only takes one for Derrick Lewis to blow the roof off this place.
There's something he's seeing from Gane that's throwing him off.
The nerves and everything that fight meant.
Cyril Gane on the cusp of a world title, and that is it. Derrick Lewis just unable to get things going tonight.
It just took a toll on me.
I think Derrick being able to fight so quickly again here back home is just a great opportunity. He's going to really want to give the fans a better showing, a better outing, and hopefully get the W here against Ty.
After bouncing back with a vintage knockout win, Lewis has this chance to redeem himself on home soil in the UFC 271 co-main event against Tai Tuivasa.
Coming into this fight, I feel like I owe Houston a lot, and I feel like it's my redemption fight for them. Two of us, you go out there and just like to swing, And that's what I like to do, too. It's going to be a fun fight. And I believe I can get the job done for the fans.
Back in the UAE, Tuivasa continues training camp half a world away from his loved ones in Australia.
This one over here.
And while destinations with less restrictions are necessary for adequate preparation, the time away from family is never easy.
I'm an island boy.
You know, I've gone through a lot of times in my life, and the gets, the more better I try to get out of it and make it work. So I've got a good group of people around me. Always learning and trying to get better.
You coming to eat Christian?
Luckily for Tuivasa, he's able to bring some family with him, such as brother-in-law and UFC light heavyweight Tyson Pedro.
He's one of the few people that, even since we were a kid, is just able to find his target. Like, a lot of people can punch as hard as Ty, but he's just able to find the chin and put people to sleep.
First technique, guys. Someone goes to shoot on you. Either do one of these or one of these.
He's really ramped it up now. He's looking very good. His wrestle's very strong.
Jump over. One, there you go.
I had my first fight. I never did any martial arts. So getting used to the wrestling and the ground game, trying to better myself.
He always loves having me over because of my jiu-jitsu background, so that helps him out a lot as well. Not that I think it'll matter in the Derrick Lewis fight.
Everybody knows, oh no. Everybody knows. Everybody knows, oh no, no. Everybody knows. You can feel it in the air, it's coming. You can feel it in your bones. You can feel it in the air, it's coming. Everybody knows.
Preparing in all areas for a fight that may only involve striking is a testament to Tuivasa's dedication.
Hits you like a, hits you like a.
And an opponent like Derrick Lewis will bring out the best Bam Bam to date.
I've got a lot of respect for Derrick. I've grown up watching him.
He's as dangerous as a heavyweight gets. This man can knock out anybody on the planet.
The Black Beast does it again. He is alone at the top of the mountain.
I just think it's the passing of the torch now. Hand it over to me.
The Australian Ty Tuivasa, one of the hardest hitters in the game, one of the biggest personalities in the game.
He knows when he steps foot on that octagon, he's trying to do one thing. He's just beat the living crap out of his opponent.
Oh!
It's going to be two guys in there trying to take the head off of one another.
When he lets those hands go, he has a very high likelihood of knocking you up.
And so it's going to be a fun fight to watch.
That's it. There is your knockout king.
I'm Bam Bam. I always come out to knock someone out, you know, so. And knock out him Chewy's. Chewy's coming to Houston, baby.
Heavyweights collide in Houston, Texas on February 12th.
That's it.
Before former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker.
That jab is like a piston, and then he throws the straight right hand.
Represents Australia in a rematch with the reigning king from New Zealand, Israel Adesanya.
I'm the champion. Let's go.
It's another high-stakes showcase for the worldwide MMA leader at UFC 271.
Houston fans, come out to meet UFC featherweight Calvin Kattar tonight at Hooters Kirby from 6 to 7:30. Presented to you by Hallerhead.
10 years ago, Coach James Lurson gave Brian Ortega a choice: continue fighting for his life in the streets of LA, or fight for gold and his community in the octagon. Today, as a top-ranked UFC featherweight, Ortega uses the fighting spirit that he learned from his coach to inspire others like him to fight for something better. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, the official beer of UFC.
One more set. One more round. One more win. Body Armor, official sports drink of the UFC.
This man is so sensational.
The champion, Israel Adesanya.
The former champ, Robert Whittaker, on a mission to get his title back.
This is a completely different animal.
Big bombs are going to be flying in Houston.
Derrick Lewis, there is your knockout king.
The clean KO for Tuivasa.
It is going to be a fantastic night down in Houston.
Know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock ticks life away. So unreal. Didn't look down below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard, so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you thought would be. I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard, so far, but in the end,
Night from 6 to 7:30. Presented to you by Halligan.
Well, it is the biggest fight in the history of Australia and New Zealand, and the undisputed middleweight championship is at stake. Back in 2017, Robert Whittaker became Australia's first UFC champion. Since then, a bona fide superstar has emerged. Enter the last style bender, Israel Adesanya.
Robert, he does not want to let everyone down. He's in his home country. He doesn't want to let everyone down.
Robert Whittaker with the nation on his shoulders against a man who has taken the sport by storm.
You put two of the best strikers in the world together, someone's going to get caught.
Oh! That's it! Israel Adesanya is the undisputed king of the middleweights! Man! Chapter 1 goes to the last style bender, but perhaps these two gentlemen are destined to fight again.
I can beat him. Honest to God, I have the skill sets to beat him. Trust me when I say I'm not going anywhere.
Oh! The Reaper, rejuvenated, revitalized, on a mission to get his title back.
A guy that is using all of his skill now.
This is a completely different animal.
Now, Whittaker could beat him. That's the truth.
This is a new fight. This is a new me he's dealing with. But I'm still the best in the world.
The most sophisticated and the most complex striker that I've ever seen inside the octagon.
That is it! Wow! Still undisputed!
My arch nemesis, Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles. I'm the champion. Let's go.
Be careful what you ask for. I'm dangerous, and I'm looking to go in there and take his head off.
At the end of the day, the result's going to be the same. I'll finish him again.
Big bombs are going to be flying in Houston.
Oh, and Lewis puts him out. The most knockouts in UFC history.
The clean KO for Tuivasa.
It is going to be a fantastic night down in Houston.
Welcome to the UFC 271 press conference. The MMA leader is back in Houston with a stacked fight card at Toyota Center this Saturday night. Heavyweights take center stage in the co-main event. First up, an Australian battering ram who's knocked out each of his last 4 opponents. Here is Ty Bam Bam Tuivasa! His opponent is the UFC's all-time knockout king with 13. Please welcome the two-time UFC title challenger, Houston's own Derrick the Black Beast Lewis! In the main event, it's a UFC middleweight title rematch that's been brimming for 2.5 years. The challenger is dead set on getting his belt back. And after 3 dominant victories in a row, he gets that chance. Please welcome Robert the Reaper Whittaker! And now the champion, a brilliant kickboxer who's used some of the best striking in the sport to amass a perfect 21-0 record at middleweight. Looking for his 6th UFC title fight win. Here is the last style bender, Israel Adesanya!
What's up, Houston? Thanks for coming out today. We appreciate it. I just want to say something to you guys. You guys have been awesome to us for many, many years. You guys have been instrumental in putting on events during the pandemic. And I want to thank you guys so much. Here at the Toyota Center, UFC is number 1, number 2, number 3. The Eagles are number 4, and the UFC is number 5. Top 5 all-time gates at the Toyota Center. We love you, Houston. Thank you very much. John.
Yes, sir. Start with you, Israel, if we could. Obviously, you know, the narrative in this fight has been that Rob made wholesale changes and fixed everything between the first fight and the second. And you said, yes, he's improved. But I'm curious, I mean, how much can a guy change at this point in his career?
He's young. He's actually younger than me. I know I look fresh, but he's younger than me. So he's made a lot of improvements in his game. But you guys have to understand, from tough nationals to being the UFC middleweight champion, this guy did a lot of work, and he ran through everyone till he ran into me. And then I stopped that shit. But the last 3 fights, he has done what he's always done. He's improved, but he's always been a beast. But I'm a different beast, but the same animal.
And Israel, just to follow up on that, I mean, rematches are kind of a theme for you in your career right now, right? It seems like there could be some more coming after this. But I just ask you, what do you think you gain the most after being in there once with somebody? What is it that you benefit the most from?
After beating them, you're in their head. I was already there anyway, but you're already in their head once you beat them the way I did it last time. You can't get over that. It takes a lot of work, and I feel like he's done the work. He's admitted what I was telling him, what I was saying through 2019, leading up to the fight. I was calling it as I see it, and I'm glad he's finally admitted that I was right. So yeah, I still have, properties in there rent-free.
Rob, for you, obviously, clearly you were not happy with the way things went the first time around, but I'm just curious, you changed a lot of things, but was there anything you learned in that 8.5 minutes in the cage with Izzy that you can use to your advantage this time around?
Yeah, one of the things I learned, he's tricky to hit. I'll tell you that much. He's a pain to hit. Honestly, as you were saying, I've made a lot of changes in the last few years, but you can't reinvent the wheel. I've just been making slight improvements, trying to get better, try to be more diverse. And honestly, I've put the work in, and I'm excited to get in there again with him and just to test myself. It's I guess the rematch is just a good way for me to gauge how far I've come or how far I've got to go, and I look forward to getting in there with him. Honestly, it really interests me, this fight.
And there was so much tension the first time around, right? It was such an emotional thing, and you've been so much more relaxed this time. So I'm just curious, this fight, is it a guy that you don't like and you want to go in there and you want to damage, or is it just an athletic competition for you?
I think I was just venting on him, to be honest. I was feeling the pressure from a lot of different avenues, and I wasn't happy with a lot of different things, and I was just angling it towards him, to be honest. Yeah, I've let all that go. I'm pretty cool now. I am quite happy with everything, very happy with the process, very happy with where I am, with the work that I put in. And I look forward to getting in there across from him and getting to work.
Thanks, Rob. Dana, just one quick one for you. I just wonder, obviously, another key middleweight fight on the card with Brunson and Cannonier. Are you looking at that as an official #1 contender fight, or is it just, winners in consideration?
Well, you just said he's looking at some rematches coming up, just like Usman is in his division. So we don't know yet. Obviously it's a very important fight in the weight class. So we'll see how it plays out.
Question for Derrick back here on the stage. 2 years ago, when you fought Ilir Latifi, I asked you for a prediction at Media Day, and you said you were predicting a controversial hometown decision. So I'm going to ask you again, what is your prediction on Saturday against Ty?
Shit. I'm coming to knock his ass out. With the utmost respect, though. I respect that man, but I'm coming to knock him out with the utmost respect.
I'm coming to do the same thing, bro.
Let's swing and bang then. Shit.
Let's
No more
go!
No more talking.
Same question for Ty. When you sit in bed and you are envisioning this fight, do you see this fight getting out of the first round?
Probably not. But that excites me, you know what I mean? It's either going to be my head or his head, and that's what we entertain the fans. So we're coming here to take heads off. That's it.
And finally, one last one for Ty. You said you had a present for Derrick for his birthday. You were going to give him Tuivasa.
Yes, I do. It's here. Let me get that real quick. I got one for everyone on the table. Comes out next week. You get one. There you go, buddy.
I'm still not putting my mouth on this shit.
I like caramel lattes too, just in case.
Hi, my questions for Izzy and Rob. What are the chances of you guys doing a shui after your fight on Saturday?
First of all, my mom's here, and she's a nurse. She already warned me about the dangers of putting someone else's bacteria in your mouth. So with my mom being here, that's a big no-no.
Rob, what about you?
Sober, 0, but.
And Dana, I had a question for you around Joe Rogan. There's been a lot of controversy with him.
First off, let me take this one. Hold up. I'm black. I can take this one. Look.
Okay. What were
No. There's a lot of cunts in this game. There's a lot of snakes in this game. I've been in this fight game since 2008. And Joe Rogan is one of the nicest, coolest, humble motherfuckers I've had the pleasure of working with. Understand that. And it's just, fuck the noise, man. You know what they're trying to do. You can't control the man, and he's got the biggest platform in the world right now. So that's my nigga, Joe Rogan. Fuck the noise.
Going off that, what words of advice would you give to Joe Rogan to shut out all the noise around him?
Do what I said. Fuck the noise. Just keep doing you, Joe. Have some mushrooms. Keep doing you.
Thank you.
Israel, down here to your left. Got the direction right today, I think. I noticed you're wearing a chain around your neck. I can't exactly see what it is.
Oh, yeah. This is a moment from the UFC NFC Strike Collection. It's just a...
I want one too.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you got to talk to the company, talk to the big boss. But yeah, this is a moment that's from the UFC 243 when I took out Rob Whittaker. It's on replay, and it just shows the moment over and over and over and over and over again. But this weekend, I'm looking to create another moment. So yeah, this is fun.
Rob, your thoughts on Israel wearing that around his neck?
Get him, bro. He beat me the first time. He's got bragging rights. What do I do? If I won the first time, I'd be stomping around as well. It's a cool necklace.
Maybe for the trilogy, you'll have your own NFT around your neck for the press conference.
Let's see what happens, huh?
And then just lastly, for Dana, I noticed you gave away the shoey that Ty gifted you. What happened? You're not gonna do it?
I had them hold it for me. We're not doing shoeys here. I had somebody hold it for me.
Have you ever done a shoey?
I had never done a shoey. No.
Will you?
I would do one out of that.
Yeah.
I'll do one out of that shoey.
Baby.
Can we get it? Can we get it going?
Right now?
Yeah, why not?
Let's go!
Somebody's going to grab a beer in here and we'll figure it out. This is going to be ugly.
Apologies in advance.
My question's for Dana. Obviously, in the main event, everybody knows what's at stake, middleweight title. But for the two heavyweights on stage, with the heavyweight division having a lot of big names right now, Ngannou, Miocic, Jones, do you think the winner of this could start being mentioned in those sort of big fights?
Do I think that who could be?
The winner of the heavyweight
I'm
fight.
scared of this fucking shoey that's going on over here right now. I'm a little distracted. What did you say?
I'm wondering what's at stake for the co-main event participants on Saturday. Do you think they could start being mentioned amongst the big names like Ngannou, Jones, Miocic, those type of matchups?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I mean, that's a big fight in the division. I mean, Derrick's ranked number 3, and obviously, he wants to hold that position, and Ty is ranked number 11. So it's a big fight in the heavyweight division.
Going off of that, have you talked to Francis at all? Is there any movement or any progress in his next fight?
We had dinner with Francis before he went back to Cameroon, and he gets back in a few weeks, and we're going to meet again when he comes home.
Any sort of update on his injury? Will he be out for a while? Or?
Yeah, he's going to have knee surgery.
Do you think an interim belt would have to be implemented?
I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Izzy, you once said that you have to face yourself in order to beat yourself.
Where are
I
you?
can conquer myself. I can
what's
conquer
up?
anyone.
Yeah.
So at what stage in your career did you conquer yourself?
Many times. My brand Engage has a new campaign. We're all fighters. Every day we're fighters. Everyone in here is a fighter, so every single day. There's sometimes, look, I'm human. I do some superhuman things, but I'm human. There's sometimes during this camp I wake up and, it's like 4 weeks out from the fight. My body's sore, I'm feeling tired. But then that fight, to get out of the bed, get to the gym and get work done, that's me beating myself. And I've done that a lot this camp. I always defeat myself in the best way possible. So yeah, we're all fighters.
You've also been quoted saying that when I'm having fun, I'm the best in the world. And I know recently you've said that you can get bored in fights. So how do you ensure that you have fun on Saturday night?
One thing I've said throughout this week for myself is tapping into my younger self, the Izzy that was really passionate about learning. And when I said I never lost my passion for this game, but I got bored in my last fight because, you guys saw those deadly strikes in the end of the 5th round, right? Damn. For me, it's about staying excited, staying in it. So I think with this guy right here, the way he fought last time, he brought the fight. And everyone knows if you bring the fight, I will fight. And I'm looking forward to fighting this weekend.
Dana, you said that you guys love Houston. It's clear that Houston loves you too.
Right.
You guys have been here 9 times. Vegas is the only other U.S. city you've been to more. Why is this such a perfect marriage, UFC and H-Town?
Well, first of all, Texas as a state has been very good to us, since we started 20 years ago. And, during the pandemic, when we were figuring out how to get through it, we went over to Abu Dhabi. Tillman Fertitta called me and said to me, Houston needs the UFC. We got to get you guys out here more. I want you here. So we've been coming here. Jacksonville and Houston have been really good to us through the pandemic. So this is such a cool city. We love this place. I literally landed and went straight to Gus's Fried Chicken before I got here. This city has the coolest hotels, great restaurants, and awesome people, man. We love this place. So can't say enough good things about Houston.
We're fired up whenever you guys come, but it also helps to have our hometown Black Beast here. How nice is it to have Derrick as the co-main event?
Yeah, no. Listen, he is what Houston is all about, man. He's a good human being. He's a badass dude, and the people here love him, man. We love him too.
I have a question for Izzy. I was just wondering if you could speak to what it means to you to have Blood Diamond making his UFC debut,
Man,
opening up this card. And
that's my guy, Blood Diamond. I implore you guys, don't wait the main card. Go to the first fight of the night and watch my teammate Blood Diamond do work. Because me and him have been through so much together. We've been in China, we've been all around the world. Blackout, and Black Jag as well, Carlos Alberg. CKB always comes through with a three-peat, and this time we're going to repeat the three-peat. And Blood Diamond, I'm telling you, expect the unexpected. Trust.
Question for Dana. Habib was on the Nelk Boys podcast recently, and he said he wants to meet with you in Vegas about his promotion. Have you talked to him at all about it, or do you plan on meeting with him?
No, I haven't. I haven't met. I mean, obviously, Habib can walk in and meet whenever he wants to, but we haven't. No.
Okay. Question for the champ, Izzy. Right here. Rob actually has spoken very highly about your takedown defense, and he said something along the lines of, if anyone could do it, they would, and that you have very long limbs. Do you think that to you, does that sound like it's a psych, or do you feel like he's just gonna try to strike with you?
I think he's being honest. I do have really good takedown defense. He's a smart man, and I think he has a lot of smart people in his team. Even my coaches admitted it. They know what they're in for, and he knows I'm a hard fight. But yeah, he's being honest. I'll say that.
Okay, and question for the fan favorite, Derrick Lewis. You're the knockout king. You have the most knockouts in heavyweight history, or in UFC history. However, Ty says he doesn't just intend to wrestle with you. What do you think about that, and what does Ty bring to the table?
Man, it's just going to be a good fight. I got to finish him in the first round.
Question for Israel. Israel, today's the anniversary of your fight with Anderson Silva. I'm curious, how much more work do you have to do to get to his level of legacy?
I'm not chasing that. Like, I don't chase those numbers. I know I probably have like a few fights before I have the longest reigning blah, blah, blah. But I don't really chase those. For me, it's all about one fight at a time. Because if I fail this next fight, then all that's fucked up. It's gone in the trash. But one fight at a time. And right now I'm focused on the Reaper.
Rob, for you, there's a lot of talk about how much you've changed since the first fight. But how much do you think Israel's changed?
He's a good fighter, man. You can see the levels. You can see the level difference between us and the rest of the division. There's a reason why he's at the top at the moment. He's a phenomenal fighter. I couldn't beat him the first time, and I've had to put in a lot of work to try and give him another run.
Last one from me for Dana. Dana, I can't help but notice you sound a little bit croaky, a little bit parched. What's the status of that beer? Where's that?
I sound what?
You sound a little bit hoarse.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, where is it?
I lost my voice a couple days ago. My voice is just coming back now. But yeah.
Maybe you should have a beer in that shoey to help.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really going to help. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to do wonders for me. Yeah.
First question's for Robert. How much different was the process of assessing Israel and developing your game plan for this one?
Obviously, I had to take this rematch with Adesanya with a lot more gravity and respect. Coming off a loss, you have to look at a lot of different things. I've been watching his previous fights, his recent fights, and they've all looked phenomenal. I've watched our tape back and seen the things that I could have done better, things that I could have done differently. And I guess at the end of the day, our game plan's all well and said, and having a game plan written out and working on procedure and working on changes is good, but it's a dynamic fight. Honestly, my team has done the best job of equipping me with the skill sets that I need to attain this victory, and it's up to me to get in there and execute. and that's Saturday.
And also for Robert, how much different does this fight week feel from the first matchup?
Yeah, night and day. It's now I'm enjoying this one. This is a great city. It's a great place, and this fight week is nice. I guess taking the fight week differently. It's I don't know. It's good. It's nice and relaxed. It's chill. You know, it feels like work. It is work, but we're here. I'm enjoying it. I'm in a good mood, and the things between me and Izzy has been quite civil. So it's like we're in a really good place. I think we're going to put on a really outstanding show on Saturday.
Thank you. For Israel, I wanted to ask what it's been like and how you're able to embrace the pressure of being a headliner.
I said that from the jump. Pressure makes diamonds, and I'm used to that. You see me, I'm shining right now. But yeah, I'm used to it. I'm used. I said it even before we fought last time because I could feel it. Eugene said something when he stepped in the cage. He looked at me and he goes, "You can see it." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." Because you could see the moment weigh in on him. And he was denying it the whole time. Obviously, he had to. He couldn't tell me, "Yeah, I'm feeling the pressure, bro. Fucking hell, this is crazy." But yeah, we could feel that. We could see that. And for me, I'm used to this. Pressure is an acquired taste. It's a really acquired taste. And yeah, I keep chopping life.
Thank you. And I got one for Derrick. Can I get a recommendation on where to find the best barbecue in Houston?
That's racist, but you.
It's yours, Teddy.
You can go ahead and hit up the pit room if you want to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, guys. I'm gonna thank you, Houston. First of all, I'm gonna get this stuff out of here and square these guys off for face-offs. Thank you.